Welcome to Zelda Speedruns. We have for you a race from round 3 of the lower bracket of the Redemption Tournament for Wolfdash 4. It's bdamja versus the Prince of None. And Anarakis will be joining us in commentary a little bit later, so I'll pass it over to our other commentator, Morgan. Take it away.
Good morning, good evening, good night, everyone. This will be a race in the Redemption bracket side because the winner of this race to play next round. So hopefully we're going to get started soon. This should be an interesting one. Prince, obviously, along Twilight Princess Runner, bdamja, kind of new PP community, but they're both kind of their leaderboard PBs out this right now, so this one could be very close. So hope it's going to be excitement today. And it looks like we're just about ready to get started. Let me know if there's something going on with audio. Slacker was saying it was fine earlier, but I'm looking at my indicator on the computer, please. Let's see if it does better. I've tweaked Discord's squelch. Guys, looks like Prince for the bridge first, but bdamja behind. You know if the audio sounds any better. Oh boy. I'll see if I can do anything about that. Hopefully, I won't have to like drop and rejoin from my computer, but necessary. Okay, let's see if this is any better. Where are the runners? We've got Prince heading into the connection cave, bdamja only a few seconds behind. Not surprising. It's not like very much has had the opportunity to happen. This looks like it should be better. I was seeing the voice detection circle on Discord kind of flashing earlier. It's not flashing now, so hopefully we're good. Excellent. Hopefully I'm also not getting too much background noise in. I'm gonna try turning auto sense back on. So hopefully everything's gonna be smooth sailing from here. And hopefully everything's gonna be smooth sailing for the runners as well, but this is Twilight Princess. Prince, unfortunately, not getting the slash on that Boko right before the small key chest. It's a little detail, but it usually makes sure he doesn't hit you, like happened to Prince there. bdamja successfully avoiding it, but he does have the lantern out, which is going to slow him down a little bit here just due to lag. And should be at a 418 cage break for Prince. 416, very nice. And 424 for bdamja, so very close. After cage there, both of those are perfectly acceptable times for a race setting. And of course, we're coming into the kind of more RNG heavy part of early game here. We've got the goats coming up and then the sumo match against Bo. That could shake things up quite a bit. Prince going right first on goats, as most people who aren't me do. I say that, and then bdamja just left goats. Looks like it's going... Well... Okay, good. That goat could have gotten away from Prince there, but thankfully it was nice to them. Very nice from both runners. bdamja catching up a tiny bit. About 5 seconds. Hey, Yokel, glad to see you viewing. It's not going to be just me the whole time. We will have Anarakis coming in about 25 minutes to help out. Both runners loading into Bo's house at the same time now, so hopefully this sync will stay through the end of the wrestling match, but anything could happen. Also, both runners successfully avoiding telling Bo that they do not want to get the iron boots. Nobody learning the rules of sumo wrestling either. And good RNG for both runners here. Hopefully they can both get the one cycle, and they do. And looks like Prince is going to get at least a little bit of a lead here. As bdamja getting slapped about 80 times. That's... oh. And the dodge. That's unfortunate. Uh, 736 boots for Prince. Very good. Hopefully bdamja only needs one more bow cycle. Oh, for... This is horrendous. This is exactly the thing you don't want to happen in a run like this. I assume Prince's pronouns are correct. Probably. I think that just takes it from race time, so if that's what she has in there, that's what's... I don't know. Anyways, 819 boots for Prince. So definitely a bit of a gap. Sorry, 819 boots for bdamja. Definitely a little of a gap there based on the RNG. That's never what you want to see, but, you know, it's only a few seconds, really. And both now heading down to sewers. Let's see if Prince gets box break. Unfortunate. Sadly, she is going to have to drop out of the race as a result. It's really hard to continue without that 3 frames of time save from breaking the box early and not having to do it after the cutscene. Hopefully, bdamja can do a little better and get some of that lead back. And I believe Prince getting the fast cutscene there. I do not believe they have the same route planned. I believe bdamja will be running Empty Lake Hylia, and Prince will be running Gorge Bombs. I'm not sure. I did see Prince at least attempting some of the LH tricks, so it's possible that she'll be going for it. I'm not sure. Can't really see enough splits to tell you at this point. We'll know in a few minutes. Prince getting the fun camera spin there. And unfortunately not quite getting midna text displacement. See if she can at least get the text skip. That looks like it should be good. Yep, very nice. And the 1 frame midna jump. And bdamja just about to start this tower section. No midna TD for bdamja either, unfortunately. But also looks good on the text skip. And Prince unfortunately getting the ledge grab there. That's interesting. That's not what you want to do. And bdamja also getting the ledge grab. Can't even think of how you do that. I've never had that happen there. Either way, pretty solid boots and sewers time from Prince there. But of course, coming up next is Sword and Shield skip. I'm sure many of you know by now this is kind of the first hard trick in the game and one of the hardest tricks in the run. Since we did back in time at the beginning to obtain the iron boots, midna won't let us get into Farron Woods just by walking over. We need to get the Orden Village warp portal and a couple other things, but since we kind of advanced things to the point where we can get the boots, that portal is actually now inaccessible. So what we have to do instead is use Hugo the Boldlin here to get a long jump attack over the trigger that would prevent us from leaving and on into Farron Twilight. And hopefully this isn't going to give either of our runners much trouble today, but it can, and it has in previous Wolfdash matches. And Prince, unfortunately, landing just short on that attempt. And unfortunately, Hugo only has enough health to attempt the trick once, so she's going to have to reload the area and try again. bdamja could take a bit of a lead here if he can get this first try. bdamja being pretty careful with Hugo's position there, and it pays off. So he's the first into Farron Woods. Hopefully Prince can get it on the second attempt here. Wouldn't be that far behind if so. And unfortunately, Hugo getting a bit of a weird bounce there. Cordy, we're going to have Anarakis coming on in about 15 minutes. So should be okay. As bdamja now starting Farron Twilight. We'll have to get this South Farron warp portal. We need the warp portal itself here, but also talking to Midna right here is what gives us the Midna charge attack, which is required to complete the game. As well as will be used for some other tricks coming up later. And bdamja, of course, avoiding the Vessel of Light entirely. He doesn't need to complete Farron Twilight on this route, which means he doesn't need to start it either. And Prince, unfortunately, starting that jump attack a little too close to the trigger and sliding into it before she can get the second jump. There are really quite a number of ways you can fail this trick. It can be pretty frustrating if you kind of get, have a little trouble with it. bdamja, meanwhile, into the Farron Mist area. Let's see if he gets this one-frame jump, and he does. For all of those sequences where you have a text box and then do that target jump to Midna, there's one frame between after the text where you can get kind of early jump. That's one of the spots where it saves the most time just because of how long the first leg of the jump is. And Prince finally on into Farron Twilight. Looks like about a 3.5 minute gap now. That's definitely not over yet. There's a lot of run left. Good early Master Sword from bdamja there. Getting out of bounds to jump down to the Sacred Grove early and pick up the Master Sword. Kind of the other, sometimes unfriendly early game trick. But he kind of gets a little break here. This Sacred Grove Lost Woods segment is fairly low stakes. Meanwhile, Prince also starting on Farron Twilight. And hopefully Prince is going to be able to get a heart from one of these shadow beasts here. It's a little sketchy to do EMS and Lost Woods on 3/4 of a heart like that. The one danger in Lost Woods, if you die at any point, you kind of have to start the sequence over again, so it can be a bit of a time loss, but it looks like she did get a heart from the messenger fight. You're usually pretty good about dropping them. And bdamja almost done with the Skull Kid chase now. One thing to look for up here is he'll be trying to hit Skull Kid for the final time and also jump off the ledge he's standing on at the same time to drop down during the cutscene rather than after it. Just saves a tiny bit of time. And that should work. Yep, Skull Kid is looking horizontally instead of up. And pretty good position out of the drop as well. So just another 3-hit sequence here, and he can move on to the Master Sword puzzle. Prince, meanwhile, about to start attempts on early Master Sword. You can also see bdamja trying to pick up some RNG rupees during this fight. And good first try EMS from Prince there. Very nice to see after she had some trouble with Sword and Shield skip. It's easy for early game mistakes to kind of snowball there, but that should level things out. Anyways, as I was saying, we have both runners playing on English today, so we will have to get 300 rupees, and we'll both be losing about, 2 seconds to German, which is the optimal 90% language. See, not a huge deal in either case. And bdamja now doing the Master Sword puzzle, as many runners do. He's going for 2 frame sense presses on every jump, just because it's something to do. The solution to the Master Sword puzzle is the same every time, and it takes a while, so it's kind of one of the slower parts of the run. Looks like he's doing pretty well with the timing. And getting the Master Sword at 22 minutes, 25 seconds. That's pretty solid. Looks like he's on a good pace relative to his personal best as well, about 48 seconds ahead at this point. And weird last hit on Skull Kid from Prince here, but I think this will work out. Yep, looks good. Actually, very good position. They're almost managing to hit Skull Kid with the B attack. You can kind of get a range of positions during that drop down after the last hit, and in fact, a couple tool-assisted speed runs in progress right now even managed to get to a point where Skull Kid pushes them towards the arena during the cutscene, which is fun. Welcome in, Rudette 51. And Prince getting the Super Mario 64 crossover and bonking on nothing. Anyways, having gotten the Master Sword and watched the extremely long cutscene, bdamja is now going to make his way over to the Forest Temple to get the Gale Boomerang. That is the only item we need from Farron Woods or Forest Temple. So once he has that, we'll be heading on out. It's still a couple treks along the way. Talk about that more when we get there. And 2515 Master Sword for Prince. So I can now tell at this point that Prince is going to be running the Pillar Clip route. Because her splits go from Boomerang to Claw Shot. bdamja will be hitting the Claw Shot somewhat later in the run. So, kind of once they both leave the Forest Temple, the routes are going to split up for a bit. And bdamja, unfortunately, voiding in the purple mist there. We'll see, he might be close enough to the end to get the good respawn, and he does. Doesn't have to cross over again. But still kind of frustrating. And hopefully he doesn't have too much trouble with this messenger fight. This one can be kind of tricky as human, but looks good. Good RNG there. Anyways, bdamja now heading into the Forest Temple. In a casual or glitchless playthrough, we'd have to save 4 monkeys from cages before we get the Gale Boomerang, but we can do a trick called Back in Time Equipped instead to wrong warp into the King Bulblin 1 fight and use its intro cutscene to set a flag that persists between different save files that happens to control, among other things, how many monkeys you've saved in Forest Temple. So in just a few seconds, bdamja will be able to save about 30 monkeys out of the 4 that are in the first half of this dungeon and can run directly to the Gale Boomerang. He does, unfortunately, first have to go through the wall spiders. It is a little bit RNG dependent, a little bit bad 3D platformer collision dependent, so hopefully everything goes smoothly here. Does not look like a good position for spider skip. Apparently I'm wrong. Didn't kill the Boko. Okay. Now the spider
doesn't look like a good position for Boko skip.
And unfortunately, getting the Deku Nut to break on the ground there. That's one of the rarer failure cases for this one, but one of the more frustrating. And nobody's having fun with Purple Mist today. Anyways, welcome in, Anarchus.
Thank you. Sorry I'm late. It's like a hard time for Sword and Shield skip for Prince, right?
Yep. I think it ended up being 4th or 5th try.
We've seen a lot of that in this tournament. It's unfortunate every time it happens. But
yeah, though
the race is far from over.
bdamja did lose a lot of time to some atrocious bow RNG, so the gap isn't as bad as it could be.
Shadow Beast behaving for Prince.
Yep. They were nice to both runners here. And hopefully we get good RNG from Ook as well.
bdamja could use some of that. The 4 hop, not too bad.
Yep, that is the most common number. Slightly more than a 1 in 4 chance. And let's see Prince's first temple back in time. That looks like the good frame.
Yep, that should work. Not quite a sub 30. Well, not even close to a sub 30
No.
for bdamja. Considering the bow, that's a pretty expected time.
Yeah, he should stay on pace here, no problem.
And on to Elden Vessel, which will probably be the next point. That there are lots of things that can go wrong in Elden Vessel.
Nothing bad has ever happened in that segment.
Yeah, nothing. Ever.
This is also close to the point where bdamja and Prince's routes split up. We'll see bdamja heading to the Elden Vessel directly to start Elden Twilight after some brief detours, but Prince is hopefully going to be taking a much longer detour, including the first half of the Lakebed Temple.
Interesting bdamja opting to do those equips right before transforming into wolf, right before warping.
I'm not sure he did that on purpose.
The equips probably, the transforming probably not.
Prince having a bit better time with the Deku Nuts there.
Different
Sorry, go
runners
ahead.
do those equips at different times. Most, I feel, do it right after Ook before the save work, but I've seen some do it before leaving the Forest Temple after the save work.
I do it
I've
right.
seen very many doing it after leaving the Forest Temple.
I do it right before Farron Escape.
Oh, that also works.
I find if I try to do it before, the problem with doing it before the Forest Temple save warp is if you take too long, Midna talks to you and tells you to finish the Forest Temple or something, and I don't want to do that.
Speaking of text boxes that tell you to finish the Forest Temple, that's one of those for bdamja. Unfortunately,
Yep,
not quite
unfortunate.
taking over.
Trick is known as Farron Escape. It's our first use of a boomerang long jump attack. Fairly precise. But this is what allows us to skip Farron Twilight and completing the Forest Temple, because otherwise Midna won't let us leave.
And notably is not possible on Wii, and that becomes the first big diverging point in the easier Wii route.
Yep.
But of course, both runners on GameCube today.
Yep, so we will see many, many, many boomerang long jump attacks. Another
There's
one coming up.
right now.
Yep, I finally actually had to learn this thing for low percent. Looks good.
I don't know that I've heard exactly how much time that postman skip saves. I've just heard how much time it loses if you fail it.
I believe it saves around 6 seconds.
Yeah, it's not a big trick at all, but it's relatively easy. Just line up.
Yeah, but it loses a
Barely
lot
more
of
lenient
time.
than fair and escape.
It loses a lot of
That's
time to fail.
Loses like 13 seconds to fail.
Which is why I hadn't really been going for it in most categories, but it is required in low percent. You cannot talk to the postman. Anyways,
34 boomerang for Prince.
Yep, pretty good.
Yeah,
A slight optimization here. We can see Prince is actually swapping memory cards in and out to always have a blank file to save over. Saves a tiny amount of time for each save warp.
4.5 seconds across the run if you have 10 memory cards. I imagine Prince is using one with the button that only has 8.
Let's see if
still about
bdamja
4
hits
seconds.
Gorge Void,
Nice.
and he does. It's a one-frame window to jump attack into the gorge and interrupt the map warping cutscene. This lets us kind of warp back to Farron Woods on our own time instead of having Midna force us to do that right now. So as his reward, he immediately gets to do a rupee roll, another pretty precise boomerang line jump attack. Ultimately, we want to get over Kakariko Gorge, but first we have to get over this fence here. We'll use this yellow rupee to cancel our momentum during an LJA and get up there.
It lined up in a little bit of a weird spot, but I guess it works.
I think it'll work. Yeah, it looks good.
There have been lots of different setups that we've seen through the tournament, but I've always done the same thing since 2015 or whenever I learned. It's interesting to see how lenient it is in the end.
Yeah, lots of options. Anyways, having gotten over the gorge, he's now going to go ahead and get the Kakariko Village warp portal so he can come back here quickly later. Getting this portal early is kind of the whole point of Gorge Void.
Yeah, it just ends up being a little bit faster to backtrack from Kakariko to the gorge than it is from Farron to the gorge.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are our two options.
But it's about a minute difference overall, Gorge Void versus no Gorge Void.
Getting a little trolled by the geometry there.
Yeah, that can happen sometimes with that Shadow Beast fight. It has to do with some parts of the ground not being completely flat or something.
You know, good game design, not making everything completely flat, but really frustrating. Prince coming up to Gorge Void now. Hopefully he'll also get it to not make the gap even worse.
Yep. And bdamja now hitting the trigger to continue the map warping sequence, and we'll get warped back to South Farron. Interestingly, this trigger extending all the way over the gorge is part of what makes the Wii route work, because it's kind of the only way to get back across without the bridge being present. See Prince's Gorge Void.
Very nice.
Cool, so we've got 2 for 2. That's exactly what we want to see here. That does also mean that Prince will be going to get the claw shot immediately. I remember how the start works correctly.
It's targeted really far right there, but I don't think it was on the tree. It targeted the tree, that would have been a bit worse.
Yeah, this should work. Looks good. Bit of a strange angle, but again, works out.
Yeah, just fine. Such a relief to get past those 2 tricks, Gorge Void and Rupee Roll, without
Absolutely.
losing a ton of time.
Anyways, bdamja now on his way to Lanayru Twilight. We'll see both runners taking that section kind of differently. bdamja is just going to get up to the Zora's Domain warp portal and then head back to get the Elded Vessel and do Elden Twilight, but Prince will actually be going to Lakebed on this first trip. See how bdamja does with the Lanayru gate clip. Looks good.
Pre-hop. There was a little bit of a delay between the first and the second. I wonder if that could have gotten through on the second hop. Didn't happen. But a third hop is not too bad.
Yeah, I've had it take longer than that before. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. And it's much better than the Epona gate clip that we used to do.
That you still do. In certain situations.
One category that doesn't have a leaderboard, yeah.
Yeah. Because nobody else is insane enough to run that.
Surely.
And so let's see if bdamja is going to be silly and go for Karg Drowning.
Yeah, card drowning, a strat that could crash the game for a grand total of 6 or 8 seconds saved.
This has happened multiple times in Wolfdash so far.
Yes. It looks like he is going for it. If it does crash, that puts him back.
No,
in the
he's just going for the...
Oh. Went for Pheno strat in the other direction. Then people in uniform would kill him.
That's how I do that.
They're about the same. It's just getting as far away from the card rock as fast as possible.
Yeah.
I suppose going downhill is slightly better than going uphill for that.
Yeah, I find it works pretty well for the quick kill. As let's see if he does card out of bounds here. This also saves 6 or 8 seconds, but it's a bit less risky. It only costs a bit of time to fail versus crashing your game and having to restart from the Forest Temple save. And looks like a good clip there.
Also a pretty nice fair and escape for Prince. Because both runners got Gorge Void, that will be the last forced escape we see. If they had missed Gorge Void, they'd have to do one more.
Yep, fair and escape inconsistency is kind of one of the reasons some runners don't like the Gorge Void routes, because it's not so common to hit fair and escape first try 3 times in a row. As let's see how Prince does with the gate. Very good. So we'll come up to our first obvious route difference here. Prince is going to transform human before jumping down to Lake Hylia.
It's going to do a trick that we haven't seen too many times in this tournament. And at least one time we've seen it, it went very poorly. Hopefully that's not the case this run.
Yep, this is everybody's favorite pillar clip.
Everybody's favorite? Yeah,
May have been sarcasm.
Without Zora armor means we have 16 seconds from starting to sink to get to the loading zone, making this precise timing, but also sort of precise positioning.
Yep, we're going to get under this pillar here, and then kind of turn Link around a bit, and call bdamja to cancel vertical momentum at the right spot. That looks a little slow, but it should work. Yep, and then once Link pops up here, we can kind of swim down to the load zone. Barely works.
That looks good. Is a good trick if you have Zora armor.
It's a lot easier with the Zora armor, and you can, if it doesn't work, you get to try again.
But yeah, not giving Prince too many difficulties there.
I'm unfortunately going to have to get a lot better at pillar clip, because I'm planning to start running like low percent all dungeons and hundo, all of which use the trick.
Yeah, it's only any percent that uses the empty Lake Hylia now.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly why that was the case. Probably something to do with bombs.
It's bombs. Like, ELH is basically, it's only fast if you get bombs by Isa duping. And most other categories don't get bombs, or get bombs somewhere else, or have a reason not to do that.
Yeah, I suppose both all dungeons and 100% would need to get bombs with Barns, just the normal way.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. And low
I mean, AD
doesn't get a bomb back.
AD could bomb dupe, that's just not fast. Yeah. If you beat Goron Mines, you can go get Barnes bombs, and that's almost always faster. Anyways, bdamja now on into Elden Twilight. It's like he's kind of on a pace here. He's minute 54 ahead of PB. 43 minute Elden Vessels, pretty good.
Yeah, 43 Elden Vessel with an 819 bow. He's played really well since then. Pretty good pace. Prince needs to get Uku to be able to leave the lakebed temple. So turning the bridge to go up and go and grab Uku real quick.
This is my least favorite part of pillar clip routes. You just run around in the middle of lakebed temple for like 30 seconds straight.
We has had to do this for years, but there are some fun LJAs when you don't have to get Uku. That GameCube can do.
Yep, and we'll see bdamja doing those later.
Doing a neat manip in Malomart there to get the bug to straight down to. With the trick they did right at the start of the Forest Temple with Back in Time, Prince will be able to.
Oh my!
Yeah, that was close. Lined up a little far from the edge. We'll be able to enter the back entrance to the Decutode Arena here and just look up and start the boss fight. This is why the trick is called early boss flags, even though we use it to get monkeys first.
Yeah, that LJ Prince almost fell off the ledge during is very punishing to fail. I think that would have lost at least a minute.
That was a really well lined up tier.
Thankfully, yeah, that never happens when I do that. We haven't really been pointing it out, but that section bdamja just did with the hotel in Elden Twilight is actually not too easy. There's lots of precise movement in there. It's easy to bonk on stuff or miss stuff. Meanwhile, Prince picking up the claw shot. And bdamja getting some good rupee luck there with the 11 rupees from the abandoned house boxes. So a claw shot gold for Prince, very nice.
Yeah, pretty much everything went well on that segment. So.
Yep, that's exactly what it's supposed to look like.
And the Zelda Twilight has been pretty fast too for bdamja.
Shaping up to be a good one. Prince now using Uku to leave lakebed. She'll be kind of going back through what bdamja's been up to since a Gorge Void. You know, opening up Lanira with the ZD Warp Portal and then starting Elden.
Prince will look artificially behind for a bit till around Arbiter's Grounds when the routes converge.
Yep.
The difference is still probably going to be about the 3 minutes it was before. Ooh, bdamja missing bomb house skip. That's
looks like he's just going to do the bomb house normally. He may have gotten too close to the start there. That's going to be about a 45-second time loss for bdamja there, so very unfortunate.
But yeah, there will be route differences until Arbiters.
Yep.
Trying to skip the cutscene to advance the text.
Yeah, I mean, it's an easy mistake to make. You don't it's not a text box you see very often in glitched speedruns because you really try to avoid this whole sequence with bomb house skip.
Yeah. And most of the bomb house skip looked pretty good, just didn't quite hold them in the charge long enough.
Yeah, that's always frustrating.
Also opting to just kill the Kargrak and Rider. Really just the Rider. The Kargrak has to carry him.
Yep.
Probably also going to go for Kargrak out of bounds.
We'll see. And bdamja unfortunately getting the RNG blue rupee there. It's very normally we try to skip rupee text by kind of side hopping over the rupee or otherwise jumping over it. But if you get a RNG blue from those pots, is often very hard to avoid. And in fact, looks like Prince is not going for Kargrak out of bounds.
It might be possible for bdamja to have 60 rupees by the end of Linear Twilight. If he does, he could theoretically skip some rupees later on. see.
We will see. Getting nine RNG rupees in the Lanayru Twilight is a tall order, but it is possible.
If you go for Waterfall Side Hop, that's already 4
Oh,
or
true.
5. Yeah, you need good luck from the grass patch and the boxes by Isa.
I forgot about those because I don't go for Waterfall Side Hop.
I don't either.
But yeah, if you leave Lanayru Twilight for 60, I suppose you can just get the Zora's Domain Yellows twice or something, and skip all of the AG rupees. Something like that, or only get 20 from AG. Few options. And Jam's trying to get through this part of Death Mountain Trail pretty quickly because he's on a cycle to jump up at the end. Hopefully those bonks in the messenger fight haven't got him enough timing.
Cycle is fairly lenient. It should be fine.
Yeah, this looks like it should be okay.
Yeah, just fine there.
It's only a few seconds either way. Thankfully, this run doesn't really have many cycles like that. There will be one later in Palace of Twilight that you can lose, I think, 18 seconds on, but that's pretty much it.
Jumping a little too early for that tier. Not the best Elden Twilight, especially with that bomb house skip. But the rest of it was fairly solid.
Yeah, and yeah, he's still ahead. Definitely would have definitely would have preferred to get bomb house skip, but it's not a complete disaster. Prince, meanwhile, about to start Elden Twilight.
Fun little fact about this rock is that we can't warp it until we start the car rock flight. That's the trigger. So moon jump routes, or no, New Game Plus routes that already have the portals have to go to Lanayru and start that fight just so that they can warp the rock.
That's funny. I
Getting
didn't know
the
that.
backflip, but that isn't good. It still puts you in the text.
That's unfortunate. If you side hop out of that text, out of that load, you can avoid the text box. And also avoid updating the map, so Lake Hylia remains empty on the map for the rest of the run if you get it. Good basement bugs for Prince there. And bdamja is somehow saving 10 seconds over PB in the Lanayru Vessel segment. I really wonder what happened there.
Yeah, that's a 2-minute segment. It's rare to see time losses like that. I don't know.
Could be anything.
Maybe failed Rutella skip somehow? Saw the Rutella cutscene?
Or he knocked his drink over, who knows?
That's possible.
Warp back to... Oh, yeah, that'd do it. bdamja, that's not how you do a wrong warp.
I think that is the closest we get to a wrong warp in DP. At least without Moonjump.
Oh, I mean, there's back in time.
Ah, true.
Good, like, Hylia messengers from bdamja there. And it's going to be frustrating. And Prince having the time with the first hotel bug. And the second hotel bug. There we go.
It
One
doesn't have
kind
the
of-
repeat X cleared because of the save warp in lake bed.
Yep, that's kind of one of the subtle route differences there. Anytime you get one of those high-value rupee text boxes, you don't get it again until you save warp. Which Prince has done and bdamja hasn't.
Not certain if bdamja goes for waterfall side hop. We'll see shortly.
And actually, both runners getting the 11 rupees from the abandoned house bugs. So, good RNG all around.
That's a good waterfall side hop from bdamja. We'll end up getting those 5 rupees along this path.
Yep.
4, rather.
4. General consensus is it's kind of not ever worth going out of your way to pick up a green rupee. That last one would be.
Both of the bugs underwater there. Fortunately, having
This
a rough
is-
time with these lily pad bugs and with the
Yeah,
lily pad.
oh my
Not
gosh.
just the bugs.
Wow.
Wow.
I've never seen it that bad. That's
Did that
this,
attack at the same time as hopping off, I guess. That was a rough lily pad bug. Yeah, probably best not to try getting back on that lily pad, but
yep. Good
It's
bomb house
getting
skip
this
from Prince, yep. So a little bit of time save there. And unfortunately, 1 rupee from the grass patch for bdamja there, so probably not making it all the way up to 60.
it is still possible, but requires really good luck in the next area.
Yep. Still, this is definitely at the point where I'd be thinking about skipping the AG rupees because you can get a couple greens in there. And unfortunately, that's not the luck you'd need to do it.
Friends and bdamja on the same rupee count right now.
Oh, yeah.
bdamja has a couple of free yellow rupees, or mostly free yellow rupees, that Prince probably won't be getting.
Still, if Prince can get to even 60 from RNG and Lanai Flight, that'll be somewhat helpful on Arbiter's Grounds. Not as much as it would do for bdamja if he gets the yellows coming down Zora's domain. Though Prince, I mean, I don't think Prince would save warp again before going down from GD to Snow Peak. So if she did clear yellow text by mistake in Elden Twilight, so she could theoretically go for those rupees if it works out that way.
Yeah, she would just have to make sure not to take damage on the way down.
Yeah.
And then in the water pretty easily.
I know there is a setup for getting the rupees without getting the damage. It is possible.
Definitely done it accidentally before.
And good Castletown messengers from bdamja. We did it. We talked about rupee routing for the entire 2 minutes bdamja was running down from UZR. One of my favorite parts of low percent after having run it for the first time recently is that it doesn't do that. You go to Castletown another way.
To skip that portal, so there's no reason to go that way.
It's also the thing you do instead is slower and worse, but it's at least different.
Prince now done with Elden Twilight, and we'll be heading to Linearu. Bdamja nearing, well, has half of the tiers so far. Is over halfway through the Twilight.
Yep, this one Castletown bug takes multiple minutes to collect on its own. And it's, it's there for a reason. It's important to the whole narrative around Prince Ralis, but it's kind of frustrating for a speedrun. Especially a speedrun where we're going to have nothing to do with Prince Ralis.
Prince Ralis is just another one of the friends we made along the way that we didn't meet. Doesn't even bother to show up at the end. Did you see if Prince got the side hop?
I did not see if Prince got the side hop. Prince did not get the side hop.
Alright.
Is the map updated? So unfortunately we have no gamers today. And bdamja going for
the backflip counts for something, but
we have half a gamer.
yeah.
bdamja going for a bit of an opposition there and skipping the first card bug. Something a lot of runners don't know is that you can actually do the same flight coming down from Upper Zora's River instead of starting at the bottom. The bugs are in different places and everything.
Just one more bug in the Twilight for, well, two more bugs.
Two more bugs.
I tend to forget about the second to last one because it takes 2 seconds after
It's easily forgettable.
respawning here.
Blink and you'll miss it.
Really close to done. The last bug takes a couple of minutes to get.
It's a little different.
It's special.
And bdamja dodging the howling grass there that it's easy to howl at by mistake. And here's the boss bug. Or the Twilight Bloat, if you want to use its scientific name. Meanwhile, patience pays off for Prince on the Lake Hylia messengers. You'll see bdamja going for a manip here to hopefully get some quick cycles on the boss bug.
Wisely waiting for a second before doing the second jump attack. If the boss bug is clipped through the plank at all, then the cycle won't attack will just bounce off.
Yep. Pretty frustrating when it happens by accident, let me tell you. Very nice. So
Nice
aside from
fun,
the lily pad bugs, yeah. Ooh, and unfortunately just misses the quick charge attack there. It's like Prince also going for waterfall side hop and not getting it.
Yeah, the buffer was a little late, so maybe it would have been possible, but probably a tighter frame window if it was. That's unfortunate. That save warp costs, I think, about 15 seconds.
That sounds about right. Anyway, it's now time for bdamja to go down to Lake Bed Temple. He'll be using a bit of a different strategy at this point. After we warp the rock up to no.
Prince dropping just to the side of the platform. Drop to. Putting and respawning again.
Anyways, as I was saying, once you warp the rock to Zora's domain, you can't do Pillar Clip anymore, so bdamja has to find another way into Lake Bed Temple. We'll be seeing that up in a few minutes, but he has a couple stops to make along the way. The first one is howling at the Upper Zoras River, Howling Stone to eventually get the ending blow later in the run, which is required. Wolf Jam in chat.
Casual playthrough, we would have gotten this on the way to Forest Temple. But that requires beating Fair and Twilight, and neither of the runners did that.
Yep, and there's an interesting side effect of that we'll see later when we get there. Speaking of wrong warps.
Lily Pad Bug's a bit nicer to Prince.
But not much.
Oh, okay. The bugs weren't that much nicer. The lily pads were a lot nicer.
And the rupee RNG is much nicer to Prince as well. So she's at 60. So we'll be able to skip at least one Arbiter's Grounds red rupee later.
And both of the runners in the same area right now.
True. And bdamja is now going to steal bombs from Isa and eventually duplicate the bomb bag. This is kind of one of the more recent developments in the route. It kind of hinges on what he's about to do now, which is fight these shadow beasts as Wolf. Normally, you're not supposed to be able to defeat the shadow beasts except with mid on your back, so you can use a mid charge, or as human using the sword. But there's a specific setup that we can do to actually manage it just as Wolf normally.
Missed one of the B attacks, but backing up there and yeah, barely too far away for that to work.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. This is a little bit precise, and it can be kind of frustrating because it's a bit laggy in this area. But this looks like a better attempt.
Yeah, it's just hopefully we'll be able to get a little closer together.
Oh,
not quite.
It's got to be frustrating.
Yeah, it's a very tight window. And wisely dodging out of the way of both of the shadow beasts there. Getting hit would be a big time loss.
Yep, bdamja is going to have to do a death warp coming up as part of the trick he's going to use to enter Lake Bed. So he's intentionally taken some fall damage on his way down from Zora's domain, and that means that if he got hit by one of the shadow beasts here, he would, first of all, game over, which is slow, but he'd also go back up to 3 hearts afterwards, which would make the death warp a bit slower. Anyways, bdamja now stealing the bomb bag, and he's actually going to steal the bomb bag again. Which is abusing the way... Sorry, go ahead.
Isa shooing him away and inviting him inside and giving him a bomb bag.
Yep.
Because that's what you do with wolves. I don't know.
Yep, this is taking advantage of the way Isa lending you the bomb bag works. Normally it kind of takes the place of the bow in your inventory, but we don't have the bow, so we could just get that black rupee. But the important part here is that once you're done having the lent bomb bag, the game needs to kind of put your inventory back. So before you do that, before it gives you the lent bomb bag, it saves whatever you had in your inventory previously. But by using that trick to get the lent bomb bag twice, the saved inventory state already has a bomb bag in it, so it'll eventually become permanent. And nice Plum's cutscene skip from bdamja there. Avoids learning about the minigame that he's not going to be completing as according to its rules anyways.
Yeah, I need 10,000 points to get the heart piece here. Getting 3.
It's a good start.
Yeah, bong. That's not going to get the heart piece, unfortunately.
No, but it is going to cause him to game over in the Zora's River minigame state, which you're normally not supposed to be able to do. And because we're in between clearing Lanayru Twilight and entering Lakebed, or getting the Zora armor, we can actually use that to transfer the minigame state from Zora's River to Lake Hylia, which loads Lake Hylia on layer 4, which you're not supposed to be able to do. And the water is gone. There's no lake anymore. We can't just walk right into Lakebed Temple, though. We have to do this fairly precise setup to get a bomb boost up into the Lakebed entrance.
With the setup, it's still a 3-frame window. Very precise overall. And
Yep,
unfortunately going a little early there.
Yep, and we'll have to die to reload the area and try again.
So although Prince looks a bit further behind, it's because of the route differences. She's already gotten to Lakebed and gotten the claw shot. With what's happened with bdamja's run, with the failed bomb house skip and now the failed bomb boost and also failed Yalis twice, it might be a close race when we get to Arbiters.
I think it will be, assuming both of them kind of keep it steady from here.
Needing to get a specific frame there.
Yep, we'll see pause buffering, angle changes like that in a couple spots in the run. And good second try Lakebed entry from bdamja there. We've also seen him just trying to get rid of the bombs that the bomb bag comes with. We actually want to be able to put water bombs in there. So we'll be dropping some more bombs through Lakebed Temple. And bdamja, in fact, actually still a little bit ahead of PB, so that's nice.
Fortunately, placed a bomb and into it when it blew up.
It happens more than any of us
so
would like to
easy
admit.
do when you're dropping bombs everywhere.
Yeah.
I have found it a little bit easier to drop bombs through Lakebed than through Snow Peak. I imagine Prince will be dropping them through Snow Peak.
We'll see.
But that's what the old route did.
bdamja going to the wrong side around that Los Alfos and getting hit. Anyways, here's a cool LGA Prince couldn't do because she had to spin the staircase. Very
No need
cool.
for Uku. bdamja will be doing all of Lakebed in one go.
That's the way you should do Lakebed.
It's cozy. I like one trip Lakebed.
Yeah.
And Prince will be going and getting the bombs like bdamja did earlier, but then we'll be heading to Snow Peak instead of finishing Lakebed.
Yep, it's a tiny bit faster to put Lakebed or Snow Peak first in this route because that means Prince will be able to use Uku to leave Snow Peak rather than having to return to the entrance and walk out. And actually, Prince going
Won't be getting the bombs
directly to Snow Peak. I'm not sure this is a good idea.
We'll need the bombs by the time we get back to. So
Yeah, I think this is a mistake from Prince here. Good Deku Toad one cycle from bdamja there.
And emptying the bomb bag right before getting the claw shot. That's good.
Exactly what you want to do.
We need to have the empty bomb bag to fill it with water bombs in the first room of Lakebed.
Speaking of the first room of Lakebed, that's exactly where bdamja is going with the save warp. Contains 10 water bombs and a pool of water that you can fall in by accident.
How do you think they got Morpheal into Morpheal's tank?
You know, I'm not certain.
Just fill
I
the entire dungeon?
never really thought about that one.
Maybe Morpheal was much smaller when...
Yeah, it's like they had an aquarium and, you put the fish in it and then you realize later the fish is getting way too big. I mean, I assume the Zoras are who built Lakebed Temple.
Would make sense.
Is bdamja now going to do Lakebed boss key skip? This is the only boss key skip we can do in the game, which is nice because the Lakebed boss key is extremely far out of the way. Very good. And now bdamja gets to fight Morpheal without the Zora armor.
That same 16-second timer that you mentioned, the pillar clip.
Yep, and thankfully it gives us just enough time to get down to Morpheal.
Also, thankfully, the cutscene refilled our air.
Yeah, but if neither of those things were the case, we would have to get the Zora armor to beat the game. Skipping it would not be an option.
Even if we couldn't skip that cutscene, we would have to get the Zora armor. Thank you, TP devs.
Oh, can you drown in the cutscene?
Yeah.
That's cool. It's amazing.
Any percent with no cutscene skips has to get Zora armor for that.
Right. As we see bdamja here swimming with a water bomb, you're not supposed to be able to do this. And when he lets go of the bomb, it's going to refill his air meter. This fight is a little tricky without the Zora armor. It's kind of unforgiving on your equip management, but with practice it can get pretty consistent.
And this looks like a pretty standard 2-bomb as long as the regrab works.
Absolutely. This might be a little weird. No, that should work. Very good.
I think to equip the boomerang.
Gotta have a boomerang, I guess. I don't really know why he needs that. And Prince, unfortunately, jumping into the void on snowboarding. Easy to do. We do a LJ to skip the Snow Peak portal fight. We don't need to go back there. But it makes it a lot harder to snowboard because the fog never goes away.
The rupees don't spawn unless you're on Wii or HD.
Yep.
just generated so much lag on GameCube that they had to take this out.
I guess. But they left in whatever it is in North Fairhaven that makes it like that. If the rupees were there, Prince would have gotten, what, 70?
50. I think. Or
No, she got the one before that as well.
one before that. Yeah, 70.
Yeah.
A red and a purple. Opting to go the slightly safer route. It is a little slower, but really not too much.
And bdamja on the way out of lake bed. Especially on the empty Lake Hylia route, the run kind of starts feeling a bit different after lake bed. It's going to be much more about dungeons. The dungeons are going to get a little more interesting. Still a bit of overworld cleanup to finish up, though.
Prince bonked on the pillar at the end of snowboarding and broke the snowboard there, but then it didn't break on the ground, so had to make a new snowboard for it to break on the ground.
That's so cool.
I love when that happens.
Yeah, bonking the snowboard right at the end there can be frustrating because you go really slowly. Prince opting to do the ice clip route through Snow Peak Ruins. There are a couple different approaches people have to this dungeon. Does Prince need to commit the bomb bag before getting water bombs? I believe so, yeah.
As long as... Well, it's either that or empty the bomb bag after lake bed as well.
And get city bombs.
City bombs, which is not fast.
You don't want to get city bombs. That's the thing you do if something bad has happened in your run.
Because we need the water bombs for only two things, and it's Morpheal and that.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Pretty decent amount of HP.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see how Prince deals with this.
Freezer's being a little rough.
This track's just dumb sometimes. This has happened to me before.
Freezer does one heart, so good that she got it that try. Otherwise,
Yep, gotta be careful with Dark Hammer though. One hit from the ball and chain would mean game over.
nice job avoiding the launch.
Yep, and get some uncycle. See if bdamja goes for rope skip. He doesn't because he's smart.
That did indeed skip the rope.
Yeah, you could say that, I suppose. Well, you really can't go for it now.
Yeah,
that sucks.
You can do a side hop and then jump to the next rope, but it saves 3 seconds, and if you fail it, then it is not worth going for again. Doing much better the second time.
Then Prince
No.
gonna be...
With the ball and chain, we'll be getting... Got 100 rupees, we'll be getting another 100 rupees. Getting close to that 300, we need to fix the cannon.
What happened to Prince's rupees? Did she save warp too early? Is that a thing you can do?
Only if you say we're mid-side hop, I guess.
I think that's what happened.
You can back that up, but it's not going to be nearly as fast, unfortunately.
As now Prince will be going back to get the bomb bag. Yeah, I'm not sure, Radlin. I wasn't listening.
Bdamja in the tower needs to knock this Bulblin down. Fortunately, when Bulblins hit the water, they just disintegrate. If that Bulblin stays alive, then it will shoot you later on in the tower, unless you're really, really fast.
Prince also now howling for the Golden Wolf outside Castletown. And nice jump attack from Bdamja there to skip that last rope. Corey, I believe there's also some redundant movement as well, and kind of slightly slower. Well, I don't know if there's going to be any difference with leaving Snow Peak versus Fuku out, because... No, you're right. I guess you do still go down from Zora's Domain twice anyways. So yeah, it would just be the extra Death Warp or Save Warp to fix the bomb bag. And Prince is getting a bug. Maybe she'll go to Agatha for the big wallet later.
You don't usually see this Shadow Beast fight at night, but there shouldn't be a major difference. Just the same set of attacks that Bdamja struggled with a little bit later or earlier. Hopefully Prince will have an easier time.
As here's Bdamja getting the ending blow. A couple interesting things about kind of getting this from the wrong place. The first one is that the hero's shade was at the wrong spot in that cutscene, so Link was kind of facing the wrong way, and you can just hit him with a B attack. But after Bdamja gets the ending blow and leaves this area, he's actually going to end up warped back to Farron Woods, where he was kind of supposed to get it.
Farron Woods will be in a Twilight, but not quite Twilight state.
Yep. As Bdamja knows very well, that's why we can't pick up the ending blow during Midness Desperate Hour, even though we do run right by there. You can't warp during Midness Desperate Hour, so it means a long run back from Farron Woods if you do that.
Bdamja will now be going to Snow Peak.
Yep, we're getting pretty close to the point where the routes will meet back up again.
It's now save warping to dupe the bomb bag. I don't know where this will put her.
Probably UZR?
Might pull her back into Isa's hut.
Yes it does. That should be fine.
Yeah, as long as she says no, that shouldn't be an issue. Maybe doesn't even.
I think it would be fine either way. But she does say no. And it's not going to warp. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter where you warp as long as it's just not UZR. You're just going to transform Dooku back to Lakebed. No, I think the bomb bag stays if you talk to Isa too many times. I'm not 100% sure though.
Yeah, I'm not certain what happens in that case.
I want to say you can just do it again. I was looking at that for low XY presses. Because you can use it to like lock your equip state, but I can't remember the specifics.
We'll need to get water bombs, and we'll have to empty the full bomb bag. And is going to opt to do that up in this waterfall up here.
Yep, that would be true either way.
Fortunately, sliding up there. Jake wisely running away from the bomb. Jake, everyone's favorite Helmasaur.
Yep. He's only an occasional nuisance on GameCube, but I believe the optimal B route will do a enemy LJA off of Jake to skip knocking the stalactites down, and it's pretty fiddly from what I hear. I can't remember if Wii ELH still does that.
I don't think the ELH route does.
Oh, good, finally.
But yeah, it was a bane for a long time. Wii route. So now Prince just needs to do Bosky skip and fight Morpheal. The routes will converge after bdamja, and after bdamja has finished Snow Peak, and after Prince has finished MDH.
Yep. Good messenger skip from bdamja there. It's a little tricky to get that LJ off in time with all the keys just up in your face there. And unfortunately, bad RNG from Prince there and didn't get the eyeball, but recovers.
Second try. But not pulling a bomb before the cutscene, it just went a little too fast.
Yeah, that sucks. Should still be doable, just a little tricky to get kind of back on track for the first hit. Normally you want to pull the bomb and take the iron boots off so that when the second phase starts, you're already kind of in the middle of the arena. And Morpheal is now going up there.
Yeah, Morpheal opting not to notice Prince, unfortunately. So it won't be a 2-bomb.
That's fine. There's a bit of room for extra bomb use on any percent at least.
Yeah, for a lot of the other bomb uses, we can just use ball and chain or sword slashes. The only thing we need is we need 2 bombs for Zant.
Yep, those are the only remaining required bombs. You still want to have a few for some other spots, though. And very long regrab for Prince here, but it looks like...
But a regrab nonetheless.
Yep, looks like she's managed to recover the rough phase 1 there, so very nice. Yeah, makes sense. And bdamja is going for the ladder freezer cancel route through Snow Peak and having trouble opening the door that, for some reason, just doesn't always give you the open prompt.
Got the fast floor clip though, so that's a little silver lining, I guess.
I feel like when you get that, it makes it harder to get the movement to the door.
Yeah, you never really expect to get that. It's
Yeah.
weirdly precise. But a first try LFC.
Yep, that's a 1 frame drop off the ladder there to manipulate the freezer into stopping its attack.
Getting hit a little early there. Not too bad.
And good Dark Hammer.
Prince now done with Lakebed, and bdamja almost done with Snow Peak. I think the gap is probably around 5 minutes at this point.
That's what I was gonna say. Because almost an entire MDH between them, and MDH is 620 about, probably.
Around there, yeah.
This point, oh, right, ending blow.
That's true.
Hopefully bdamja will actually get to keep the 100 rupees.
Definitely got the rupees before the save warp.
Yeah, that was, I've never seen that happen before.
Opting to stab the second bubble.
Is that fast?
No.
Yeah, not sure there. I guess he's worried about it going out of bounds.
Is a valid concern. That happens if you
So,
stand too close to the armor.
bdamja warping to Lake Hylia at 137.22. He's now on his way to Arbiter's Grounds. Do you think we'll see bdamja go for Stallard Skip?
I don't know. bdamja knows how to do Stallard Skip, but it went a little rough in his last race, so I don't know. Prince
I could
got
see
Louis glitch. That's the funny thing on the right.
Cool, that means Prince wins. I could see bdamja maybe going for 1 or 2 attempts on it. Because he got the lead. I know.
And he's on PB pace.
Only bdamja knows whether he will do Stallard Skip. Hell, that's an easy way to get one.
Easy is not the word I'd use to describe it. Yeah. Definitely.
I mean in the sense that if you
get it first try.
If you get Stallard Skip the first try for the first time, you're gonna get a Stallard Gold. No question about it. Hopefully that'll be me soon. I'm probably gonna start learning the trick when my new input display shows up.
MJ to the left.
Yep. It's a new thing a couple people have started doing there, just slightly faster movement down from Aru's tower. And like now it's changing Aru's life or Fire's life debt to Aru for a service worth 10 rupees. You know, it really is. bdamja is playing somewhat wide Twilight Princess.
The wolf is dashing on both sides right now.
Huge.
It's opting not to see up to line up the jump. Getting it just fine.
Pretty cool looking. And bdamja now using the ball and chain to get into Bulblin camp a little faster than the game wants you to. Nice clip there. And we'll see another use of map glitch in just a second to get through Bulblin camp a little faster than the game wants you to. You're kind of supposed to run all the way around and pick up a small key and open a gate, but the only thing you actually need to do is fight King Bulblin.
Ooh, Prince getting bridged.
That's unfortunate.
Getting to the bridge a little too late. Falling off.
At least you got the good respawn.
At
Sometimes
least
it
it
puts you
was
off.
bridged by getting too late rather than the bridge deciding not to have collision.
Yeah.
Better the second time.
Anyways, bdamja now getting out of bounds to jump under Bulblin camp to the King Bulblin 3 fight.
Prince opting for the claw shot method of climbing these vines. I think it's barely faster if you get a double hand grab. Prince did not get a double hand grab.
Yeah, that's just kind of RNG there. It is more fun.
bdamja now getting to Arbiter's Grounds. One of the more difficult parts of the run. Hopefully won't give too many issues going through here.
Oh no. It's already off to a good start.
That's just one of the many reasons to like Arbiter's Grounds.
Goodness.
Machesta. That was mostly trying to get the heart from the skulls. There is a consistent heart there, and it is nice to have that extra heart sometimes. bdamja will need 20 or 44 rupees in the dungeon. I imagine that'll be 2 reds and then hopefully RNG greens.
That's what I'd go for here.
If not, then could go for the blue rupee
6 is kind of just enough to where I'd say, you know, hopefully that gets made up. And it is technically possible to skip this whole first half of the dungeon and go straight through the Poe gate that's closing right now, but we won't be seeing that in this speedrun.
Well, you never know. We might see it in this speedrun.
A Prince could go for it.
It is very, very slow.
Yep. And bdamja having a little more Moldorm trouble here on Poe 1 skip. Looks good though. And I didn't see when exactly Prince warped down to Lake Hylia.
We'll know at Interorbiters
True.
what the gap is.
Speaking of which, nice Interorbiters grounds gold for bdamja.
Pretty solid time there.
Absolutely. Hopefully you can get the RNG manipulation here on Poe 4. Looks good. Ew, and unfortunately slightly early on the spin.
Fortunately, on the second cycle, it's the same. It's guaranteed to be the same Poe as the first, so you should know what to expect.
Yep, and it looks like he does.
This is really bad RNG.
It really, yeah, that's, oh. Oh,
never
no.
mind. Maybe it's the same one relative to Link's position.
It beats me.
I don't know.
That's unfortunate. There we go.
We've got some great camera as well. Prince opting for boomerang on Y, claw shot on X.
That's unfortunate.
Definitely the less common order there.
Yep, most runners have a preference for which button items go on, and most runners prefer the boomerang and claw shot to be the other way around.
But it fundamentally makes no difference.
Yeah, it's just a matter of what you're used to. I'm trying to get better at ambidextrous equips, especially if I start running any percent ELH again. Just because I like that your ideal equip sequence on Morpheal swaps boots and claw shot every cycle. And it's a pretty personal thing for each runner. It's just what you're used to.
Demonstrating exactly what we're talking about, pulling the lantern instead of the ball and chain, just because of
Yep, we've all done it.
Happens all the time.
And
red rupee chests.
So good. Yeah, so he's got to make up 4 RNG green rupees. Or really 2, because there are a couple guaranteed ones you can get later. Prince riding the boar into the stairs at the base of Arbiter's Grounds. I'm not sure that's necessary. It did also get an Enter AG gold, so that's nice.
Gap now just over 6.5 minutes by the look of it.
Yep.
6:35-ish.
Something about there. The bdamja has lost some time in the current segment. Prince could make it up here with a better AG first half.
And depending on what tricks bdamja goes for in the second half, it could bring them a bit closer if they go poorly.
We'll see. I don't know if bdamja usually goes for Death Sword skip.
I would imagine that bdamja would just play it safe and not go for either of them. Or go for Death Sword skip but not Salad skip.
Well, we'll see.
Let's see. Really nice Stalkin pattern for bdamja.
Yep, not only gets the double hit on the redead, but comes out of it with an angle so that he lands right on that dig spot. And that's 1 green rupee for bdamja.
And there are the others. Needs one more.
Oh, for crying out loud. No, he's at 300.
Got the rupee.
Yeah,
But
that's...
unfortunately, missed the cycle.
Yeah, I believe he just went too close to the Poe for the... Whoa.
Did it again.
No, you're right. He's just the timing. That's unfortunate. That one almost looked too
Third
close.
tries the charm.
Prince also pulling out the lantern.
Yeah, having a little bit of trouble with bow and skip.
Yeah, this one's kind of touchy-feely, but there we go.
Much better than it used to be.
True. Yeah, we used to have much worse methods of doing that trick. The LJ and pop-up is pretty consistent.
That was discovered pretty much 6 years ago at this point. What method?
Nice.
That makes me feel old.
Eventually somebody's going to tell me the like City in the Sky boss key clip is 5 years old, and I'm going to be... That was the first trick I remember being discovered after I started speedrunning this game.
There aren't a lot of tricks, especially in any percent, that are found. It's not a very quick development.
We've been going over this one for a while.
We've had a few decently big ones in the last couple of years.
bdamja, unfortunately, having a little trouble with the Arbiter's Grounds human movement there.
Decently big, meaning saving no more than 20 seconds each.
Yeah. Oh, no, Kai Clip saves like a minute, doesn't it?
A clip saves 8 seconds.
Oh. Am I thinking of a different category?
It might save about that glitchless.
Oh, right, yeah, because you can do it in Wii glitchless. Alright, well, we'll see what bdamja does on Death Sword.
Prince getting the red rupee in the chest. That's a slightly faster way to clear the text if you need to get the other two, but usually a lot of
Yeah,
get that if you need more than 40.
to be fair, she does. I'm not sure what her
That is
plan is
true.
there. And it looks like bdamja will be attempting Death Sword skip. This is a fairly precise mid-to-charge super jump off Death Sword to get over to the spinner without having to defeat the boss. And unfortunately, he doesn't quite get it.
Like a little late for the second try.
Yeah, the position looked pretty good.
Surprisingly, this is I think the second most lenient way to skip Death Sword.
Yeah, we have some worse ways of doing this trick.
Definitely have worse ways.
There's Jump Strike LJ Death Sword Skip, which is faster but pretty hard. You can see that in individual level speedruns in a couple of other places. And also, as of very recently, we have Backslice Moon Boots Damage Boost Death Sword Skip, which is worse than both of these options, but you don't need Jump Strike.
Or if you want to say their short names, just Lejads and Basumdabuds.
I have never tried to pronounce Basimbadads or whatever it was.
I spent about an hour trying to figure it out one day.
I'm surprised it only took you an hour.
So bdamja now with the spinner will be heading to Stallard. We'll see, might go for Stallard skip, might not.
Weird read from Prince there, but made it work. It's kind of dependent on the pattern you get from the Stalkin, whether you get the double hit or not.
Wonder if she'll opt to kill the other readout as well for the other 20 rupees.
Yeah, I don't know. Depends
short.
on what the plan is.
This many rupees is awkward.
Oh no. Anyways, let's see what bdamja does here. And looks like he is going for Stallard skip.
Ooh, interesting.
This is risky. The trick is very hard, but it could save him, what, a minute and a half?
Minute 40 seconds. Maybe it's
Minute
slightly
40.
more optimal.
That
That's
looks
a first
good.
weekend. Stallard turning a little bit too much to go for rings.
Hopefully
The
he can get
hardest
the
part of the trick out of the way, but still has two other fairly precise parts.
second try in the L slide. Pretty good. I believe that part is frame perfect. And now he's got another 3-frame damage or bomb boost on a precise angle here. Many runners use a metronome to time this part. I don't know if he is. Very nice.
The first try Stallard skip. Very nice for bdamja. Definitely on pace for a good PV here.
Yep, that immediately puts him on one heck of a pace. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the first time he's gotten Stallard skip first try in a run. And Prince having a little trouble with the Stelphos here. Makes it work eventually.
Accidentally doing a roll stab instead of a spin attack on those last two Shadow Beasts.
That is so annoying.
Tried to back it up. You have a little window to do a spin attack. But
Yeah, basically the same thing we do for the Isa fight as Wolf. There's just that little frame window. bdamja talking to the kids who have told him to go to Goron Mines. Looks like Prince also attempting DSS. Also not going well. There we go. Alright, it'll be interesting to see bdamja's enter city time in just a few minutes. That'll kind of tell us what we can expect for the rest of his run. And I don't think we'll see Prince going for Stallard skip.
yeah, I highly doubt it. There are 60 rupees on Fire's Cannon.
There are.
Prince could get those and then warp back and get them again.
That might be your best option.
It's not great. The alternative is the 50 rupee chest in Gakuriko Graveyard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is definitely not an ideal option. But she could get a second golden bug.
That's true. You get the golden bugs, and you give the golden bugs to Agatha, and she gives you 150 rupees. Well, actually, from those bugs, it would be 100. But that's all you need. foolproof plan, except for the part where you go to Castletown again for no reason. Huh.
I don't know if you can do that, but
It looks like the answer is no. Yep,
oh,
there
you
we
can.
go.
Neat. Today I learned.
Alright, bdamja now 2 minutes 28 ahead of PB, so definitely big time save from the Stallard skip.
Definitely still has potential to save more time in the end game, but there are still several things that could go wrong.
Absolutely. It's kind of easier to be consistent at this remaining part of the run, but that doesn't mean it's free.
Prince did the angle buffer. I think it was 1 frame off, and then just went and did the fight.
It's kind of like doing Stallard skip.
Pretty good first phase, though.
Yeah, strange to see that from Prince.
Yeah, we say that Stellar Skip saves about 1 minute and 40 seconds. That's compared to pretty much what Prince just got, the first try on all 3 cycles.
It can be slower.
In my experience, it is very rare to get that. So Stellar Skip ends up saving even. As long as you...
Prince has a fairly well-known clip of a bad Stallard one that has been circulated. And unfortunately going a bit late for the quick knockdown on Stallard phase 2. Going for a backup here.
Yeah. Good backup.
Yep. And then she's going to try to get 1 cycle with a whole lot of quick spins, but this might not work. Just barely. bdamja, meanwhile, doing a little bit of parkour to skip a cutscene. We do not need to see Argarok destroying the bridge. We won't. We'd like to use the bridge again later, and it kind of makes things slower for other reasons.
Surprising that Argarok doesn't just come and destroy the bridge while we're away.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. He's a busy guy. Maybe he's got some other stuff he's working on.
Yeah. Had to wait for us to be in the right spot, I guess. Big gap. Just over 8 minutes leaving Arbiter's grounds.
Yep, we just saw bdamja get off the spinner a tiny bit early to get a roll in before the bridge finishes extending. I'm really surprised Prince got away with that last minute hack. Nice tile worm LJ from bdamja there. And being a little careful with this next one.
bdamja opting for the claw shot method of defeating those 10 alphas, just surprising them over the void.
Yep, he likes that one. And you know what? It seems to work pretty well.
Technically slightly faster.
So Prince not going for the graveyard rupees. Prince has a better idea. I don't like the sound of this.
There are lots of rupees in this game.
There are. But not a lot of them are kind of near where we're going right now.
Not a lot of them are fast. Let's see what she decides to do.
Maybe she'll do... no, she can't get that chest. It's a 100 rupee chest. Like bdamja will be doing a skydive here. And unfortunately, yep.
Now it doesn't have the hearts to do that jump.
Yep, you take 2 hearts of fall damage if you do that.
Prince is going to do flight by foul, maybe?
I think so. If you're gonna do that, you should do it before warping the cannon so you don't have to run back to fire again, I think. No, it'd be the same either way. But yeah, it looks like flight by foul.
Looks like
No, it's
bdamja is
just-
going to opt for the setup here.
That's what most people do these days. Very nice.
So Prince, I think ideally would land on the spinning platform and get the 100 rupee chest, and then go
Yep.
get the bottom chest.
He wouldn't. Not enough wallet space for that. I expect we'll see.
It,
Prince
it
get
doesn't
the-
stop you from getting a 10 rupee or a 5 rupee.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Very good not to miss the platform.
Yeah, that's...
That one has a 50 rupee that won't fit in Prince's wallet, fortunately. This 20 rupees also won't fit in the wallet, but the 10 rupees
Oh
will.
no. Notably, 10 is less than 6. Yeah, you're right.
Thanks, Nintendo.
One of the notable changes on the HD version of Twilight Princess that doesn't happen. The rupees just go away. Nice quality of life feature.
Hundo Plus on HD.
It would make it easier. Like, I like how that's a thing you have to deal with in the GameCube Hundo Plus route.
A neat dynamic. Pretty good. Flip up to the boss gate for bdamja.
You know, Prince, I would believe that, actually. Anyways, more cool LJs from bdamja here.
You get so used to that version of crossing the fans that it seems weird when the fans are turned on.
Oh yeah, I guess if I ever get around to doing glitchless, I'll have to do that in a normal way.
Glitchless and we any percent usually turn the fans on. They
Yep,
don't strictly have to.
I'm probably not going to do we any percent. Very nice fan tower from bdamja. And now bdamja will get to watch nearly 2.5 minutes of cutscenes, and also there's a boss fight in there probably.
In this area, there are about an equal amount of cutscene and boss fight.
Yep.
Maybe slightly more cutscene. It's about the same. Getting the 1-frame side hop, nice. It's a shockingly small trigger right at the top of the vines.
Yep, there's 1 frame you can side hop before the fight starts and not start the fight and lose time. This is what happened.
Imagine bdamja won't go for cool game because this is this is PB based by a good amount.
Yeah. I would not go for cool game here. You claw shot onto Argrok's tail on the first possible frame. You get a really funny soft lock, but it does lose like 5 minutes. It's narrowly avoiding it. But avoided the cutscene, which is the important part.
It's voided.
Yep.
Almost voided it 2 ways. The doors in City in the Sky let you carry an item through them. You don't have to put your sword away to open the door. You just have to stare at it.
I've tried that on the doors in my house so many times and it never works.
You just need to talk to the Uka contractors.
Oh.
Or the Twilight contractors. Either
Yeah,
one.
also happens at Palace. For
Which
some
of
reason,
those do you think have a better work ethic?
for some reason it doesn't happen in... Oh,
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
there.
that's so annoying. Anyways, we've seen bdamja here doing some precise claw shotting to manipulate Argrok into stopping its flame attack early. Just like that.
Prince tried to go for Tile Worm LJ and missed it.
It works better when you target the tile room.
Oh, is that what I've been doing wrong all these years? Did target the tile room that time.
I don't go for that jump. I do something else there.
It saves a little bit of time, but yeah, I have never found it to be consistent.
I kind of hate this room anyways, so I don't really feel a need to make it harder.
Should be the last cycle for bdamja.
Yep.
It's a pretty decent arc rock, but it's hard not to have a decent arc rock. That's not true. If you miss a flame cycle, that's good.
Yep, you can lose some time there, but it's pretty easy to be consistent at. It's just long, and you kind of do the same thing 3 times in a row. Oh, he did miss a flame cancel.
So then the standard commentary thing would be a good Argarok for a race.
No, a good Argarok for a race is getting all the flame cancels. They're not that hard. It's a somewhat precise timing window on each of them. Oh no.
Getting another heart to be able to skydive.
I'm guessing from chat that Prince is about to fail the skydive in an amusing fashion. Oh man.
Well,
That's
it
it
failed
worked.
successfully.
That's okay, that's something. Sometimes collision in this game just acts up. Put it that way.
bdamja getting the B attack on the first few frames, so not clinking on the pillar. Lets you warp slightly sooner.
bdamja is not used to having done stellar skip and not having to do the zoom in thing.
Prince opting to
Oh no.
aim for her alpha skip.
And then
Now
Aralfo's.
opting to do the fight.
That's just unfortunate. I think taking the game over might be faster here. This fight is not fast. Especially if you don't stun Argrok with the boomerang. There we go. Or Aralfo's.
That should have been enough for the cycle.
There are hearts anywhere. And unfortunately taking the game over anyways. I mean, that's just bad luck with Aralfo's deciding to stop right in front of the claw shot target. There's not much you can do about that. Nice double hit on the Zant head from bdamja there. And gets his first small key of Palace of Twilight. There are 7 in total, more than half of the small keys in any percent run. And we need to get all of them.
Getting air alpha skip second try for Prince.
Not bad.
Getting the good RNG for bdamja. Being able to get all the way to the chest, but getting to the side of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, that sand head can pop up in a couple different spots, and not all of them let you get to the chest before that cutscene.
Both runners side hopping up a chest pretty close to each other. Unfortunately, it's a different chest.
Twilight Princess chest side hopping is insane in 2024.
There really aren't a lot of strats that use it. The only other one I can think of is Lake Bed getting to the Deku to a normal entry after you've gotten the key.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure what's happening to bdamja on this Phantom Sand fight.
Looks like did get a double hit on that spin. That just happens when you have hit lag close.
That's frustrating.
Hitting some of the vermin there. It's cool, but it messes up your cycle. This is a bit of time in the Phantom Sand fights.
The prince's claw shot up to the boss key here. Should work. Yep.
Just has to find the pixel.
Yeah, I had a really rough one in a run recently. It must have been a single pixel I could shoot through. It's dependent on where you do the first claw shot.
Pixel doesn't entirely make sense.
You know what I mean?
Of TP, just because.
Anno, I know how TP angle units work.
Yeah, I know. But for the viewers.
Good. L slide here to get past the enemies there.
Each change in angle in TP is actually 8 angle units. I think our alpha skip is only 6 angle units, so it's 3/4 of a visual angle. Anyway, Prince getting across the fan room just fine.
Meanwhile, bdamja done with the first wing of Palace. This dungeon is kind of in 3 sections. Since you fight the mini-boss twice. Each one of them is kind of its own unique challenge. This next one, though, starts with what we call Stupid Room. And Prince, unfortunately, taking another spin around on Fan Tower.
Looking for a hurt. Not quite the typical stupid room for bdamja, but at least not falling down. That was it looked like a little awkward at the start.
I'm not sure what that was about, but it looked like he handled it pretty well. And thinking about whether he wants to open that chest for a second.
Prince having a little bit of a rough time with claw shot up here.
At least she didn't dead pixel. If you aim that in precisely the wrong way, you can have Link hang off the vines on the claw shot rather than grabbing them, and you just have to drop down and void and try it again. Yeah, did bdamja get the claw shot off in time? I think he might have been frames late on it.
Late, yeah.
Prince, I think, going for a cool game, but doesn't get it. I know Clubbers has, I think, an audio cue he uses for that. That's pretty consistent. Damn, Joe. Unfortunately, not quite getting that LJ that some runners have been going for recently. And hopefully the second Phantom Zant fight goes a little smoother. Unfortunately, not so much. Sometimes it's just hard to get those quick spins out. And you've got to pay attention to exactly how much damage you're dealing to Phantom Zant to stop him from going into that pattern where he warps around. And nice recovery from bdamja there to avoid that pattern. That could have been a lot worse. But he doesn't have to do that again.
Prince throwing a skull and opting not to get the heart.
bdamja making quick work of what we call run straight room.
Hopefully reverse stupid room goes well.
It's reverse and stupid.
The end,
Looks
is the
pretty good.
room actually stupid or is it us? Probably both.
I think it's both. Anyways, bdamja can now power up the Master Sword into a Light Sword. Opting to drop the soul and claw shot it from the platform to save a little time on walking.
But using C up to tell when to jump. Probably a good idea. I don't personally have a visual cue for that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know some people do that for one of the early platform room jumps. Oh yeah, I got the early platform cycle for what I think is the first time in my low percent run last night.
Nice.
Unfortunately, it was on the second time I was doing Palace. I'm actually annoyed about this. I had a good Palace, and then I died to Zant and lost bombs, and then I had another good Palace.
Palace of practice. What can I say? Yeah. Pretty unfortunate to drown to Zant.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm gonna do another low percent on Wednesday, and I'm expecting to PB by at least half an hour. The fun of new categories. Anyways, good soul puzzle room from bdamja, even though we didn't go for the cool case super jump that nobody ever goes for because it's dumb.
Saves 2 seconds. Not quite getting that hurt.
It is at least officially banned in glitchless. Can't do it in glitchless runs. It's not allowed. Anyways, bdamja doing another LJ here to save a couple seconds. There's not a lot of glitches available in Palace, but we can kind of make these auto-scroller platforms go a little faster.
It's not immediately warping to the mirror chamber.
Mm.
Not sure where she's going.
Like Hylia Spring, it looks like. Not immediately clear as to why.
Gonna get.
I don't even remember what's in
This
this
is a
chest.
10 rupee chest.
5 rupee.
The other chest down here is a 10.
That's one of those chests where I only pick it up in rando, so I remember that it's there, but not what's in it.
I don't think I knew
unfortunately.
that those chests existed until I routed Hundo Plus.
That makes sense. I mean, no logic rando and Hundo Plus kind of have some overlap in that regard. You open all the chests.
In fact, that was the reason why I routed Hundo Plus in the first place, so I knew where all the chests were.
That makes sense. That's one of the reasons I want to run Hundo Plus. Unfortunately, currently my normal Hundo times look like Hundo Plus times, so I've got a bit of practice to do.
It's a neat category, but it sure does take all day.
There's a lot of it. Someday I want to do the low percent and Hundo Plus at the same time that you've done. But
Did get the bomb chest there, so now it has 7 bombs for Zant, assuming that
that's good.
actually get to Zant.
I don't know if that's going to happen at this point. I kind of understand not wanting to do Palace of Twilight. Anyway, speaking of early platform cycle, that's the room bdamja is in now. Looks like he's going to go for the harder but faster version without the Midna call to start.
Probably with an LJA.
I assume so.
It is possible without an LJA, but
I should
Very
start
tight.
doing that LJ, but it's like it's dumb. I'd rather do the Midna call than the LJ at this point. Prince demonstrating the power of the double claw shots. This should still be just doable for bdamja.
yeah, that looks like it.
Yep. Actually, not even just. He probably had a second or two left on that.
Chest that Prince is coming up to is really hard to open as Wolf. In fact, I think this one's impossible to open.
I did not know that, but yeah,
It's just
apparently
because of
it
the way
is.
it slopes into the chest.
No, it
Yeah,
makes sense.
I think the other one is really hard, but possible. This one, it might be actually impossible. This is not a chest you see in anything but randos and Hundo Plus.
You don't even see it in rando that often because you need double claw shots to get it. Generally, if you have Double Claw and Rando, you're doing pretty well. Anyways, bdamja now on into the Zant fight. And actually another Enter Zant gold for bdamja there. That's very nice. Now over 3 minutes ahead of PB.
Looks like has a decent amount of time to save the Zant fight itself. Hopefully it goes well.
Yeah, we'll see. Definitely can go badly.
But that's a good Forest Temple phase.
For sure. And Prince is going for a swim. And I
Nice
believe
one
that's
cycle.
it. Yep. I'm close to being able to do that. I just have to figure out the timing.
It's a 2-frame window.
Yeah.
It can be hard to tell where those 2 frames are.
I'll drill it at some point.
You can do a very similar thing on the Forest Temple phase, but it's a 1-frame window and it's slower.
Yeah. I know about that. I don't go for it because, you know, why would you? It looks like Prince is going to Lake Bed Temple.
As long as you have at least 2 bombs, you can make it.
Yep.
Actually, I think you only need to use 1.
Very old, any percent no save and quit routes used to do that.
No save and quit is always needed. I know that some people have done it. Done Pillar Clip without Zora Armor and no save and quit.
No, you can make it through, I believe you can make it through the tunnel with water bombs.
You can make it through the tunnel with water bombs, but it's very slow to get them.
Yes. That's why it's the really old any percent no save and quit route. Because we stopped doing that. Prince, you can just blow up the rock. Oh no.
At our required use of Ball and Chain, the only reason we go to Snow Peak. Also because it's a cool dungeon.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I go to Snow Peak because I like seeing Yeto and the freezer at the top of the ladder.
Snowboarding is fun.
I don't know about that. I'd be fine if we didn't have snowboarding. Prince now going to Castletown. I wonder if she's going to get the big wallet. Or possibly the big quiver. Very clean Zant final phase from bdamja there.
Yeah, a really clean Zant fight in general.
So we should pick up some more time here. Prince, do the ending blow moon boots. Oh yeah. Where's the Poland? What? Okay. And Zant gold for bdamja as well. Dude is on a roll. It's a fun randomizer strat from Prince here. Oh, maybe. The idea here is to knock the bold one down and then do an ending blow and start the ending blow with iron boots on, but then take them off during the jump. And if you do that on the right frame, you get quite a bit of extra height. Trick is known as moon boots. Can be used in a couple places and with a couple different attacks.
bdamja skipping the postman for the final time in the run.
His low percent run is valid.
See if the any percent run is valid too.
Looks good.
10% run is indeed valid.
Prince getting another bug.
Left. Sorry.
Yep, one more dungeon left for bdamja.
One more dungeon left for bdamja, and
a couple long cutscenes. Prince also not talking to the postman, who might be there. No, the postman will be there. Prince now donating to Charlo for the sake of peace in Hyrule. It'll take a while before the spirit of love descends upon her, though.
Yeah, I need a couple more rupees.
And also doing the star minigame for the big quiver. This is pretty fun to see done fast.
After getting a bonk through the doorway.
Prince appears to be attempting star 1 no claw shot and is missing all of the stars.
Star 1 no stars by the look of it.
It is possible to do star 1 without the claw shot, but this isn't how.
Yeah, not quite gonna be able to do that.
Trying to save it with the claw shot, but this is going to be close.
Doesn't have enough rupees to try again.
No, it's all for the better. It's not like she can do anything with the big quiver regardless. Did the bone go out of bounds?
If you throw the bone in the grass, then the dog will bring back a heart.
Oh no, there it is. Did that bounce off the tree?
I think so.
There we go. Yeah, that's so cute. bdamja,
Boblin?
meanwhile, yep. We call that one King Boblin 4, despite this being only the second time bdamja has seen the guy.
King Boblin 4 has had enough.
He has. He's tired of it. He's mad as hell and he's not going to take this anymore. Brent's pulling the item wheel out of that load zone to be able to open the door to access his castle a little faster. Important to know for any percent.
bdamja opting to save warp. Slightly slower, but not by much.
More consistent. Anyways, bdamja being careful there with the jump attack into the cutscene to skip that barrier when it's a little more precise than the one outside. And a little bit of trouble with the Dark Net for bdamja here, but hopefully you can get the second phase strat. That looks good. And going for the faster version of the Hyrule Castle Lantern puzzle. Saves a second or two, but requires you to be pretty precise with the lantern swings. You can't drop any.
Can't drop any rolls either.
Nope. I did that by mistake in a run recently. I did the fast lantern puzzle before I thought about what I was doing, and I was like, wait a minute, I just did the fast lantern puzzle. And it worked out.
Opting not to use the bone shield.
Yep. I respect that. The one cycle with the stabs there isn't that hard to do, and it's not that much slower.
Yeah,
that's usually what I go for.
A little bit of RNG to it too, so bit nicer for the stabs. Prince going to get the best chest in the game.
That's a pretty good one. I'm not 100% sure what my favorite chest is.
This chest must be really good. It takes forever to get.
This one's 100 rupees, right?
Yeah.
Definitely the fastest way to make 100 rupees in Hyrule. Yeah, and for some reason it doesn't load in until you get really close to it.
Bdamja in the last room of Hyrule Castle before the boss.
Yep, good block room. Gotta keep moving over that or the floor falls out from under you. And weird sword clank there. Prince now jumping down to Lake Hylia after getting another 100 rupees. Maybe we will see the capacity of the big wallet demonstrated. Nice auto spin to kill both those Lizalfos from bdamja. And neat little claw shot to get past this last Dark Nut.
Now just has the final boss between him and the pretty decent PB.
And Hyrule Castle gold for bdamja by a decent amount.
Good measure.
Almost 5 minutes ahead now. Dude is on a roll. I say as immediately as he bonks into the corner there. Oh, maybe Prince is going to get the heart piece this time.
Maybe. Bdamja's high score on this is 3 points.
The Prince is already winning. Alright, good RNG to start with for bdamja there.
Always minimum of 7 cycles. This should be this is on pace for a 7 so far. Ooh, Prince bonking, unfortunately.
I don't think I would have gone for that dash there. Alright, I think we should still be on pace for 7 cycles for bdamja. Is that right?
I think there was an extra drawing.
Oh, were there? No, you're right, there was.
It's 5. Not the greatest RNG.
Yeah, it's not just the number of cycles. You can get fast attacks and slow attacks, and the time between them can be randomized as well.
That's an 8 cycle.
Prince narrowly missing the forbidden strawberry.
Good ball and chain throw for bdamja.
Yep, and you got Ganon falling to the correct side there. And Prince has scored enough points to get the heart piece. And a little more for good measure.
Oh, I wonder what's going to happen here with the Isa trigger.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Prince is not going to get the heart piece.
bdamja losing a little bit of time. Missing the grab.
Yeah, only a few seconds though, that's fine. Prince is going to do Nordor. Like a good horseback from bdamja so far. Very nice.
It's mixing up the targeting there, unfortunately.
So bdamja should have a 302 if he doesn't have trouble with the auto spins.
Auto spins went well.
Very nice. And looks like bdamja will come in for the interview.
Yeah.
GG.
Thank you.
Great job.
Appreciate it.
So
Yeah,
that's huge. That's a 4-minute PB. Hey, Prince.
Hey guys.
Hey, Prince. GG.
GG, both of you.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks.
bdamja, was that your first time getting Stallard skip first try in a run?
Yeah, it was. And
Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Yeah, the next best Stellar skip I had was like 10th try or something in a run. So
30242.
yeah, I'm sure that's
I
what I have
had
to look forward
absolutely
to.
no shot at any point during this race.
Yeah,
don't say
so bdamja, you're up against me for the next round. So,
that'll be fun.
Yeah, I was looking at it. Going into City, bdamja's best possible time was 3 seconds off of your sum of best, Prince.
oh no.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
that sounds about right.
Yeah, it was looking like it might have been close going into Arbiters.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I went into this race. I was like, I could win, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then I failed Sword and Shield skip a million times, and I was like, well, I'll keep it going. But
Yeah.
And
No,
it
on
just
this one, bdamja's PB is faster than my sum of bests.
yeah, I was outclassed. I really you played out of your mind today, dude.
I believe
thanks.
last time this happened.
Go ahead.
I believe this last time this happened to me in Wolfdash, I went to Goron Mines.
Last place I had to go.
But yeah, that you had a great stretch at the end there from Light Sword to finishing Hyrule Castle. You go like 3 segments in a row.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad I did because I was doing some like longer, late game segment practice earlier, and I'm glad that it paid off a little bit. So
yeah, definitely did.
Well, I also did Arbiter's Grounds, or I did Spinner segment practice too, but that didn't pay off, unfortunately. But
classic.
Whatever.
Yeah, I saw Death Sword skip was giving you a bit of trouble. You had like the worst PO4 RNG I've ever seen. In addition to the whiffs.
Yeah.
I thought the PO to the I know the thing about like if you miss the last cycle, but it's the same one.
It fooled us too, dude.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I must have just missed it or something. I thought it was the
My
left
best
one.
guess is that it's relative to the camera, because it was the left one relative to the camera the second time, but I have no idea what happened there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
Might be
weird.
it.
I don't know. But
And
no, yeah.
Anno has been running for this game for over a decade. If he says he doesn't know what's going on there, it's
True,
pretty new.
That's a
I
good
don't
point.
go for that strat. So.
Fair enough.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Po 4 was bad. Po 3 was my fault though. That was atrocious.
Oh man, I forgot about that. That was
Kind of
crazy.
crap. I just couldn't do it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm really glad I finally got Stellar Skip in a run though. Because yeah.
Yeah, you should be proud of that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It was exactly the point at which you had nailed Stellar Skip. I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop now. I was like,
that's
I've given up.
reasonable. Fair enough, yeah.
But like, dude, I like it was honestly kind of rad. Just to see you like go on a fucking crazy tear while I'm just doing my thing. Really,
Yeah, no, that
really
was
nice commentary, by the way, guys.
yeah,
Thanks.
thanks for the comms. Yeah, totally. I'm glad you guys volunteered because like we may
thanks.
not have had comms, so I appreciate
Shout out
that.
Slacker. Let's go. Round of
Yeah,
applause
thanks
for
Slack
Slacker.
for the restream. Appreciate it.
He's the fucking coolest.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, I mean, I really, if I had to go down, that seems like a really good way to do it.
Yeah,
I
no,
really, genuinely, I feel like I've made a noble sacrifice.
yeah, no, I was watching you play and I was really entertained, and I think me being entertained like helped me play better. So like it worked out.
Fuck yeah, synergy.
Good.
Exactly, dude. But yeah, I don't know. I've gotten let's see. I was gonna say something. I think I've gotten to Morpheal 3 minutes better than that. So if I just get that Morpheal and I just get this late game,
Hell yeah.
2 and 2 together, cool could happen. But yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, sub 3 could be soon.
Could be.
Could be. Yeah,
Sub 3 against Morgan.
that would be crazy.
I
That'd
don't
be
know.
hype.
Yeah, tune in next time to see bdamja kick my ass in real
Yeah.
time.
Oh,
you
no, I'm gonna
you
get
might win. It might
330.
be like a crazy upset.
That's true.
Probably not.
You may go on an insane tear like he just did.
That's true.
I
And you
could,
also-
but I probably won't.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm also vulnerable to like throwing really hard, so that could also happen.
I mean, same.
True. Yeah.
I think we all are. Except for
Yeah.
Anno. Anno's
You
too
can.
old to
It's pretty easy
throw.
to tilt in this game, honestly.
Oh yeah. My problem is not just tilting; it's just like I find it really hard to pay attention and keep focus when I'm playing bad.
Yeah,
It
Yeah.
usually just kind of spirals
No,
out.
absolutely.
But
mental
I guess
game is
today-
the biggest opponent.
well, the game, yeah, exactly. Well, at least I got lucky today, so I'm happy about that.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It wasn't just luck. You also played really well.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, I think I did. I think I played good. But yeah. Yeah.
Not
Pretty-
too many races left in the tournament.
Yeah.
We are
just
getting
down
to
to
the
it.
end of it.
This was the redemption bracket, lower bracket, round 3, losers bracket, round 3.
Yep.
Yep.
Potentially as much as 5 more races.
Yeah,
in the redemption
true.
bracket.
In redemption bracket.
And that's only a couple left in the main bracket. We've got
Yeah, the main
it's just the
bracket's
finals,
actually at the
Awabi
finals.
versus Nimzo.
Just the grand finals.
Yep.
Nothing's scheduled yet. We don't know when the next race is going to be, but we'll probably have more soon.
For sure.
Yeah, stay tuned.
And again, give our runners, bdamja and the Prince of None, a follow. Also show some love to our commentators, Morgan and Anaraxis. I'm going to throw you over to ZSR Main for our Zelda 2 Upstarts race going on right now while we clear the stage for ALTTPR cross keys. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.